Hi, I'm Coach Hallis, and this is episode 16 of the Keeping It Real vlog. This is quarter two, week five. This feels like the week of the Keeping It Together vlog. Uh, I want to cover a few challenges and a couple of celebrations for the update of this week. I mentioned a student last time who has a very high number of consecutive absences, technically enough consecutive absences at this point to drop her from the roll, remove her, and she'd have to re-enroll at another time, another semester. And I've done everything I can to advocate for that to not happen. Our attendance officer has set up a meeting. Hopefully, this young lady and her parents will be able to attend next week, and they've said that they're coming. So hopefully, we can make something of that and just try to get her caught up. Another young lady who's struggled with attendance and engagement and has just anxiety issues in school. Um, is trying to go back to all virtual, and we're looking at maybe doing some kind of version of homebound instead, where I'll work with her to try to get her still doing the things in school without having to get reset and do everything in a virtual class through software. She has an 80% in my class because of the work she's done outside of class, and to come back and do some extra work and make up for things. She came in during the intersession during the break and was able to do work then, but she struggles with anxiety issues in school, and some days are tough for her. So we're trying to work out something to meet that student where she is. And I had a student who apparently this is like just his school career path is he puts himself really far behind and then has to get caught up and just does as little as possible and then scrambles like crazy at the end to get caught up. And his dad has lamented that frustration of that pattern. But he's in the same place here, senior year, in a class where he needs to make up 11th grade English in order to get into 12th grade English next semester with me. And in this project, as is tradition for him, he's done nothing, done nothing, done nothing. I'm thinking about it, I'm thinking about it, I'm thinking about it. And now we're getting closer to crunch time, where we have under a month between now and our exhibition. The gears are turning that he's going to have to do something. And he decided he was going to use his money towards the food pantry. So we arranged a visit to the food pantry where I was able to get him out of class. Sent an email to them asking if we could come by during their normal operation hours. Sent that a few days before the day that we'd arranged to bring him. Didn't get a response. Brought him right at the start of their operation hours, and there were like 10 to 15 vehicles lined up outside the food pantry. Turns out that when you go to the food pantry 2 weeks before Thanksgiving, there's a whole lot of traffic going on. There's a lot of things being dropped off and a lot of things being picked up, and it felt horrible that we were trying to drop in on these people, and the there's a couple, a man and a woman that runs it, and the man basically had to turn us down. He's like, "There's no way. I don't have time to sit and chat with your student right now because they're just swamped." So we then brought him back to the school and just try to use that as an opportunity to reflect on, like, okay, so this is one of the consequences of putting things off so late. Uh, you don't have as much wiggle room, and what can you do with this? And so he's looking at right now, do I pick a different avenue? Do I use that as an opportunity to recognize that this food pantry serves a lot of people and does a lot of good, and what can I learn from that short trip where I went and they were so busy they couldn't talk to me? Do I rely on trying to email them or set up a meeting with them outside of their normal working hours? I can't answer those questions for him. He has to figure that out for himself. He has to figure out which is the best way to handle this. This is this is a real world adult problem. You have to advocate for yourself. You have to um, know where do I do what, or you have to try different things until something works. I will support him. I will try to, get him there when I can, and if he sets up another time, or try to help him find whatever information he needs. But ultimately, he has to make that decision. So those are some of the challenges of this week: getting students' attendance navigated, and the issue with that student and getting to talk to a real world person. That's one of the problems when you're doing real world work, is that in the real world, people have schedules and dates and times, and you have to work around those. It's just part of it, and it's better for the students to learn that in this context rather than having to learn that the hard way later on. So it's one of the valuable things that we can do for them in secondary level. On the bright side, one of my students he wanted to give away masks to people who need them, or to encourage them to wear their masks during school hours. Today, he worked with one of our elementary innovation coaches to learn how to do some cricket cutting on vinyl and heat press on some masks. So he did that today. And I came up with an idea for what I'm going to be doing for quarter 4. So I've already known that we're going to be doing the doghouse project in quarter 3, but I wasn't sure. I had a couple ideas, but I came up with a completely new idea for a project I've never done before that I'm still formulating. So I'm not going to talk about that today, but stick around, and as we get closer to that, we'll dig into how I'm going to design that, because that'll be the first one, I guess, that I'll be covering here, where it's a brand new project that I've never done before in any capacity, whereas I have done the Act Local project before virtually. I did the $10 challenge 4 years ago. I've done the Doghouse project with cross-country students, but this new one I've never done with any students before, and I'm right now in the process of starting to do it myself. So I'll probably be focusing on that in a couple of upcoming vlogs. So that's where we are as of quarter 2, week 5.